In this part of the presentation, I want to step back and look at one specific building block inside the broader travel, hospitality, and leisure sector: sports, fitness, and outdoor recreation, what we call the active life wallet. This block is about all the ways people spend money to move more, feel better, and live an active life. It is very different from a once-a-year vacation. It is built on weekly, and often daily, habits. People go to the gym, they buy running shoes, they join a hiking group, they sign up for classes. Because of that, this block behaves like the everyday engine of the experience economy. Even when people are not traveling, they are still making decisions about their health and activity. For a long-term investor, that matters. Revenues here are linked to recurring behavior and ongoing motivation, not just a single booking decision or a one-time trip. To understand this block, it helps to organize it into 3 simple clusters. The first cluster is fitness and wellness services. This includes big box gyms and health clubs, boutique studios like yoga, Pilates, spin, or HIIT, low-cost budget gyms, corporate wellness programs, personal training, and group classes. Many of these clubs also add simple wellness features, such as saunas, recovery areas, or a basic spa. The second cluster is sports and fitness goods. Here we are talking about sports apparel and footwear, both performance gear and everyday athleisure, as well as home fitness equipment like treadmills, bikes, weights, and connected devices. It also includes general sporting goods, such as balls, rackets, and protective gear. The third cluster is outdoor recreation and gear. This covers tents, backpacks, hiking equipment, camping stoves, bikes, kayaks, climbing gear, and the outdoor-focused retailers and specialist brands that sell them. Thinking in these 3 clusters makes it clear that this is not a narrow niche. It is a wide ecosystem of services, products, and experiences that together capture a meaningful share of the active life wallet. Now let's look at what these businesses actually sell and who they sell to. Gyms and studios are really selling access, time, and expertise. Access comes through memberships and day passes. Time is sold in the form of reserved class slots. Expertise is delivered through coaching and structured programs that tell people what to do and how to do it safely. Sporting goods and apparel brands sell physical products that enable activity. They provide the shoes, clothing, and equipment that make it comfortable, safe, and enjoyable to exercise. In many cases, these products also express identity and lifestyle. The brand on your shoes or your jacket says something about who you are. Outdoor brands sell durable gear that has to work reliably in real conditions. Tents that keep you dry in the rain, bikes that hold up over long rides, climbing equipment you trust far from home. The core customer across all of this is the individual consumer, using discretionary income to support health, enjoyment, and self-improvement. On top of that, there are institutional buyers, companies offering wellness benefits, and schools, sports clubs, and governments investing in facilities and basic equipment. That mix of retail and institutional demand helps smooth the revenue base and reduces dependence on any single channel. Within the wider travel, hospitality, and leisure value chain, this block plays the role of an enabler layer. People often invest in fitness and gear before they travel for races, treks, or outdoor events. If you look at the pie chart on this slide, which shows how outdoor recreation value added is split across the economy, you can see this idea in numbers. Outdoor recreation spending is spread across accommodation and food, retail trade, manufacturing, transportation and warehousing, wholesale, and a range of other industries. It is not a small, isolated niche. It touches many parts of the real economy. This block also connects into the other strategic blocks we use for the sector. It feeds into travel platforms and physical destinations through active holidays, wellness retreats, and sports tourism. It supports gambling and fandom by deepening interest in sports, as more people actually participate and train. And it overlaps with the Gen Z digital lifestyle block through fitness creators, training apps, and connected devices that turn activity into content and community. That is why, from an investor's point of view, sports, fitness, and outdoor recreation is better thought of as plumbing for the experience economy. It quietly supports a lot of other spending. The next question is, how do businesses in this block actually make money, and where is capital tied up? Membership and subscription models dominate in gyms and many studios. Here, the core product is a recurring monthly or annual fee, sometimes with higher tiers that add classes, personal training, or extra services. Class-based and pay-per-use formats offer smaller bundles of sessions and work especially well for boutique studios and some outdoor experiences. Franchising is common in chain concepts. In a franchise model, the franchisor earns royalties and fees for the brand and system, while franchisees commit capital to local sites, equipment, and staff. This allows faster expansion without putting all the capital on one balance sheet. Product-driven businesses monetize through multi-brand retail, direct-to-consumer stores, and e-commerce. They turn design and brand into repeat sales of apparel, footwear, and equipment. Digital and hybrid models add layers of apps, on-demand content, connected equipment, and coaching. And they try to turn a one-off purchase into an ongoing relationship. Capital intensity varies a lot. Gyms and clubs are heavy in real estate and equipment. Brands carry inventory, invest in design and R&D, and spend heavily on marketing and sponsorships. Digital and hybrid platforms pour capital into software, content, and user acquisition. Understanding this mix is essential when you later look at balance sheets and cash flows for individual companies. Economically, gyms and studios are classic high fixed cost, low variable cost businesses. Once you have signed the lease, bought the equipment, and hired a basic staff, the incremental cost of one extra member is quite low. Returns, therefore, depend on utilization and retention. You want enough members paying regularly, and you want them to stay long enough that their lifetime value comfortably exceeds the cost of acquiring them. Retailers and brands operate differently. They rely on high-margin categories such as apparel and footwear, and they live or die by inventory management. Buying too much of the wrong product leads to markdowns and weak margins. Scale gives them better terms with suppliers, more efficient logistics, and more leverage in marketing. Outdoor gear is more seasonal and cyclical, but loyalty in certain niches, like climbing or cycling, can be very strong. Because products tend to be durable, successful brands often rely on premium pricing and clear differentiation, whether in performance, sustainability, or design. Across all of this, there are some common drivers: rising health and wellness awareness, changes in disposable income and time, the degree of technology and digital integration, property and labor costs, and the regulatory environment around health promotion and land use. The bar chart on this slide, showing the sports apparel market size today and the expected size later in the decade, illustrates one of these drivers in action. The market for sports apparel is projected to be materially larger, which reflects both performance needs and the ongoing athleisure trend. Let's now think about how this block behaves through the cycle and what we can learn from customer behavior. In recessions or weak job markets, when unemployment rises and household budgets are squeezed, consumers usually respond in three ways. They trade down from premium boutique studios to cheaper gyms. They delay big-ticket equipment purchases and high-end outdoor gear. And they cut redundant memberships, such as a second gym or a specialized class. However, many people still keep at least one affordable option, because fitness is increasingly seen as something they should maintain, not a luxury to ignore completely. In better times, when incomes are rising and confidence is higher, they are more willing to experiment with boutique formats, specialized classes, and higher-end gear, and to combine training with travel, races, or retreats. From a behavioral angle, gym spending sits somewhere between discretionary and essential. Outdoor gear is more clearly discretionary and seasonal. People are more comfortable postponing a new treadmill or bike than canceling the one membership that gives them structure and community. Price-sensitive users do switch between gyms and apps based on promotions, but once someone is embedded in a strong community, a CrossFit box, a yoga studio, a climbing gym, or an outdoor club, loyalty can be very strong. Seasonality is also important. New Year's resolutions, pre-summer pushes, and back-to-school resets all generate spikes in sign-ups and activity. Life events such as marriage, a health scare, or pregnancy often trigger new fitness spending. The Gen Z headline stats on this slide make some of these points concrete. They show that only a portion of Gen Z is currently exercising regularly. Many want to start. A large share use fitness facilities and apps, and a big majority of gym-goers participate in group workouts. For investors, this tells us that behavior is already hybrid, mixing gym, outdoor, and apps, and that there is still a substantial pool of potential new exercisers. Over the last 3 to 5 years, several structural changes have taken place. First, hybrid fitness has become normal. The pandemic forced people toward home workouts, streaming fitness, and connected equipment. As restrictions eased, gyms recovered strongly, with revenues and memberships reaching or surpassing pre-pandemic levels, while digital usage stayed elevated. The result is a stable hybrid behavior, where many people mix gym visits, outdoor activity, and app-based workouts. This shifts power towards operators who can bundle physical and digital into one offering. Second, outdoor recreation participation has structurally increased. More people are hiking, cycling, and camping, often starting with casual, low-barrier activities. The bar chart on this slide compares outdoor recreation with the broader U.S. economy. The blue bars for outdoor recreation grow faster than the orange bars for the economy, on metrics such as output, compensation, and employment. The exact percentages are less important than the direction of travel. Outdoor recreation has been growing faster than the overall economy, suggesting a long-term tailwind. Third, athleisure has blurred the line between fashion and function. Sports apparel and footwear are now everyday clothing, not just workout gear, which pushes more value towards brands with strong consumer-facing IP, community, and direct-to-consumer channels. Fourth, sporting goods retail has been consolidating. Large chains have acquired specialized retailers and omni-channel models. Online, click and collect, and in-store experience have become standard. Over time, this moves value away from smaller, undifferentiated stores and towards larger, digitally capable players. Finally, Gen Z behavior has made identity and social media central to activity. Posting workouts, hikes, and races is normal, which increases the importance of community-centric concepts and brands that can tell authentic stories on sustainability, inclusivity, and performance. Looking ahead, we can think about the future across 3 timeframes. In the near term, over the next 1 to 2 years, fitness is likely to remain a core spending category within discretionary budgets. Most people will keep at least one solution, whether that is a gym, an app, or outdoor activity. Gyms will still rely on recurring memberships and high fixed costs, and gear brands will still operate on seasonal product cycles. Standalone digital fitness offerings without strong community or differentiation may continue to lose momentum as consumers prefer social, in-person experiences. Overextended boutique chains and marginal independent gyms may struggle if rents stay high and budgets remain tight. Budget and value gyms could gain share as people trade down, while hybrid offerings that tie together in-club, at-home, and outdoor routines under a single app or membership may grow. Sports apparel and footwear should see steady, if moderate, growth. In the medium term, 3 to 5 years out, the basic economics of clubs will remain: high fixed costs and a dependence on utilization and retention. Leading apparel and footwear brands are likely to keep their positions, but important niches, such as trail running, cycling, and functional fitness, will remain attractive profit pools. Purely transactional gyms, with no community, coaching, or digital integration may find it harder to justify mid-tier pricing. Smaller multi-brand retailers without a niche or omnichannel strategy may be squeezed. At the same time, ecosystem players that combine gyms or studios, digital coaching and content, wearable data and nutrition or recovery services may become more visible. Outdoor recreation may evolve into a long-term lifestyle for many, driving upgrades to better gear and apparel rather than just entry-level purchases. In the long term, 7 to 10 years out, the fundamentals will not change. Human bodies will still need resistance training, cardio, balance, and recovery. Businesses that help people do these things safely and consistently are unlikely to disappear. People will still look for community, coaching, and accountability, which are hard to commoditize. What may shrink are simple access to machines models in oversupplied markets, and basic commodity gear with no meaningful brand, design, sustainability, or performance edge. What may grow is integration with healthcare and urban planning, data-driven personalization based on wearable and health data, and new categories at the intersection of active life and technology. Climate change may shift when and where people exercise outdoors, altering demand patterns between indoor and outdoor options and across different types of gear. To close, it is useful to frame 3 qualitative scenarios for long-term investors. In the upside, or bull, scenario, governments and insurers treat physical activity as a central pillar of preventative healthcare and actively subsidize or incentivize gym use, outdoor activity, and wellness programs. Disposable incomes grow steadily, particularly in emerging markets. Hybrid models work smoothly, with single subscriptions coordinating gym visits, outdoor training, and digital coaching. Brand and community-rich concepts scale globally, maintain strong pricing power, and keep facilities and platforms well utilized. In that world, the sports, fitness, and outdoor recreation block could grow faster than overall GDP for many years, offering attractive returns for well-run, scaled platforms and premium brands. In the base, or normal, scenario, fitness and outdoor activity continue to gain slow, steady share of the consumer wallet as health awareness rises. Macroeconomic conditions are mixed. There are recessions, but they are not deep enough to permanently derail health spending. Digital and physical channels coexist, and large players build decent but imperfect hybrid offerings. Consolidation continues, but the industry remains fragmented enough to allow local champions and interesting niches. Returns are solid rather than spectacular, with the block growing at moderate rates overall and the best-positioned brands and platforms doing better than the average. In the downside, or bear scenario, a long period of weak real income growth and high living costs forces households to cut discretionary spending more aggressively. Consumers move towards free or very low-cost options such as public parks, free apps, and simple home workouts, and they reduce purchases of new gear. Large digital or technology platforms enter aggressively and commoditize parts of the value chain, putting pricing pressure on gyms and gear. High rents and wages squeeze operators, and many mid-tier, undifferentiated facilities close, leaving mainly very cheap and very premium players. In that world, equity holders in leveraged, asset-heavy, or mid-tier undifferentiated businesses face significant downside risk, while lean, low-cost models and highly premium niche concepts are better positioned to survive. For a long-term investor, understanding these three scenarios and where each company sits within them is the key to using this active life block intelligently when building a portfolio.